Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Tiffany Parr with Girl Powerhouse. We are coming to you on Mupo Entertainment. We are on the iOS as well as the Android devices. So if you have not downloaded us, please make sure that you do. I am going to be bringing on the wonderful Latasha Jimerson today. Latasha is a motivational speaker amongst a lot of other hats that this woman wears. I'm going to go ahead and bring her on in so she can introduce herself and tell you all the interesting stuff that she does. Come on in. Hi,
Yo, what's
Latasha.
up?
What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. It's so great to see you. It is just such an amazing, you are glowing. I'm so glad to be in your space and so excited for this talk today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And just thank you. I mean, you look, you brought the glow out in me, okay? Because I have been just so excited for this interview. I've been watching you out there and just all the amazing things that you do. So please take a moment to just tell our audience who you are, where you're at, and a little bit about what you do.
Oh, yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Latasha L.T. Jimerson. I'm an author, teacher, book coach, book promoter, and motivational speaker. I am the inventor and creator of Your First Book Workbook, which teaches you how to self-publish your book in 90 days or less with minimal stress. I'm also the creator and the founder of LTCES, which is LT's Coaching and Educational Services. I am also the creator of the two Facebook groups. The first one is Your First Book Club, for those people who are just now investigating how to do one book. And then for most of my clients, they want to do another book and another book and another book. So I have another club and it's called Your Next Book Club. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm all about books. I love books. I smell books. I'm a weirdo like that. So if you're a weirdo like that and you love to smell books and read books and talk about books, then you gonna love me. Thank you for
Yes.
having me today. This is gonna be
I absolutely adore you, Latasha, and just love what you do in just helping people bring out their brilliance in, their literary art. I mean, it's tough to, be a author, and you took it a step further, to become, the author of authors, really. You know
that.
what I'm saying? You're out
Ooh,
there
I'm gonna have
creating
to take
authors,
that.
right?
I'm gonna take that. The author of authors. Thank you. Next time you're gonna see a t-shirt, the author of authors.
Yes, that's right. I love it. I love it.
I
So how
receive
did
it.
you get started book coaching? Like what geared you over there? Like have you always like wanted to do this or just kind of tell us a little bit about your background and just kind of how this all
Yes.
started?
So the straight up answer is hell no. That's the straight up answer. Hell no. I would rather be in the background, kicking it, reading a book in my pajamas. Like, that's just what I would love to do. But this is a part of my purpose and my calling. And I didn't know that until I started to get quiet.
Mm.
Like, I was teaching full time, high school history teacher slash English teacher. I was the teacher taking kids on field trips and doing fundraisers. Like that was the love of my life. And all of a sudden I started to get these thoughts of, you're not going to do this for the rest of your life, right? You know how people say that still
Uh,
small voice.
oh yeah. Hmm.
Every
I've
time
heard
I
it.
got quiet, I heard that you're going to be on stages around the world, right? And I was like, no, I got this field trip. I got this fundraiser. I'm a department chair lead. And,
Right.
I'm the team player teacher. Whatever you got, I'm signing up for it because I want to stay busy. Right.
Right.
I was busy for a long time. And then 2015 hit. And I was like, wow, okay, I've pretty much done everything that I want to do at the middle school level. Let me go to the high school level and see what I can wreck up there. Right.
Right.
To the high school level. And then I was like, this is pretty cool, but this still ain't it.
Right.
This still ain't it. So I started doing a little bit of research and, taking a look at my resume and trying to figure out, okay, do I want to get another degree? Do I want to move up and be an administrator? Do I want to completely shift careers and get out of teaching altogether? And so I had all these questions in my head and I started researching, and you know how you go to YouTube University?
Right. Yes.
You get that street degree in YouTubeology. So I got me a street degree in YouTubeology. And I decided, I said, I'm just going to start writing during the vacation, just during the summer. I'm just going to see what I could do.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, one summer, I just sat down at the computer, and I don't know how to really explain it, but something took over me. And I was up like every night for like a whole month, late at night, just cranking something out. And my family members would come into the room and be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm just writing. It's flowing. I'm in a flow state. I don't know how to explain it. I'm in a trance. I mean, day after day after day after day. And it was my life story.
Wow.
I didn't know how it was going to begin, or I didn't know it was going to be in the middle. I didn't know how it was going to end, because I'm like, God, I'm still living. So where are we going with this?
Yeah.
And I just kept hearing my spirit, just keep writing. Just keep writing. Just keep writing. And so I wrote and I wrote and I wrote. 30 days later, I had some kind of mush. And I sent it to one of my good teacher friends who was like, yeah, you should probably write a book. She told me that years before. And so I called her, I procrastinated. I called her and I said, hey, I got something. Can you look at it? How fast? And she's like, girl, it's summertime. I ain't got nothing but time. Let me read it. She's like, give it to me. 3 days later, she came back and I was like,
right.
I was like, let me down easy. Not sensitive. She said, yo, this is good. And I was like, you just saying that because you my friend. She was like, no. She said, first of all, I just want to say, I can't believe you went through all that.
Wow.
Are we allowed to say SHIT on here?
Sure.
I'm just checking because it might be.
You good. Look, this is just, look. Do they cuss on Netflix and things? Yeah, you good. You good.
Okay. She said, this is good. This is really good. She said, I apologize that you had to go through all of that shit.
Yeah.
She said, because I know you had to go through that stuff alone. She's like, your childhood, your teenagehood, your collegehood, your career. She's like, you're one of those teachers that's always like this.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't believe it. She's like, I was working with you when you were going through some of this stuff. Because she was one of my buddy teachers. We had the same students. I taught one subject, she taught a different subject. So they left my room, went to her room. We had lunch together. We hung out at home together. We were going out together. She didn't know what was going on inside of my mind.
Wow.
Yeah. She was like, I am so sorry. And I said, okay, what are we going to do? She's like, you have to publish this. I was like, I do. She's like, you have to. Yeah. This is important. And I was like, whoa. Okay. So 2017, I published it. And I honestly, I published it like this.
Okay.
Because I was hoping nobody would buy it. Because then I would be like, God, you see, I was obedient.
Mm-hmm.
I was under the spirit and I wrote what I wrote and I put it out and did nobody buy it. See?
Yeah. No.
What
no.
That's
he ain't
not
gonna let you down that easy.
I went on Facebook and I was like, not even on Facebook. In 2017, I was a teacher who was a turtle. I'm going to call myself a turtle teacher. Literally, I ate my lunch in my classroom. I was in my classroom early in the morning and late at night. Some nights I was out there late. And I literally did not come out of my classroom because I was just like, when I'm laser focused on something, I'm locked in. So you talk about social media, the woman I am today is completely different than the woman that was hiding in that classroom looking like a turtle, because I was afraid if I went on social media, somebody was going to stalk me.
Mm-hmm.
I had all these fears and preconceived notions about social media. And I was like, and I felt the spirit say, go on, open up a Facebook. Soon as I opened up a Facebook, oh my gosh, my friends from high school were like, where the hell have you been?
Mm-hmm.
I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. My friends from college, where the hell you been?
Yeah.
You mean you on Facebook now and you don't wrote a book?
Okay.
So my first copies that got sold was just because people was nosy as hell. They wanted to know what she been up to for all these damn years. And why is she just now getting on Facebook?
Yeah.
I'm one of those history teachers that's like, I'll wait for the movie to come out on VHS tape. That's how I am. I don't want to see it now. I'll wait.
VHS tape.
That's me, the old school teacher. Like, I don't watch. People think I'm weird. I watch TV. I barely listen to the radio. It's me and my books.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes that's what we need. That's what makes us passionate. Is those little things, those books, for me, it's like the working out. Like I could put my earphones on. I don't have to have nobody around me at all, nothing. Just leave me alone with the weights and with all the cool equipment that and nah, I don't need you. It's fun though to work out with somebody once in a while, but no,
That's how I am with my books. Like you asked, how did you get into this? Hell no, I didn't want to be the writer of the books. I wanted to be just the reader of the books, right? Just like this in my room or in the library. I spend so much time in the library. It's not even funny. Like people think the library was like my address because in high school, I literally would go into the library during lunch. My friends would be hanging out in the quad. I'd be in the library like a big old nerd. It's just my happy place, my comfort zone.
Right.
And so when God said you need to write a book and you need to go on Facebook and you need to talk to people about this, you need to get and go, I was like, hell no.
Step out that comfort zone. Step out that comfort zone.
Yeah. So it was a long way for me to explain that I was just pushed into writing a book about my life. I didn't know what was going to come out. Ended up being a memoir, and people at my job were reading it. So I was kind of embarrassed because there was things in there about depression, anxiety, panic attacks. The book opens with me in the closet on the floor in a fetal position, crying myself to sleep night after night after night. That's the opening chapter, is what that felt like to be there. The kids were asleep. The husband was asleep. It was me in the closet crying myself to sleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's deep. That's deep. Well, Latasha, we are going to go ahead and cut to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with more from motivational speaker and amongst a bunch of other things, author, book, education coach, just everything. But we'll be right back. And we are back. This is host Tiffany Para on the Girl Powerhouse. We are here on Mupo Entertainment. Make sure that you download us on your iOS as well as your Android. And also, if you'd like to check out a bunch of other interesting things that Mupo's got going on, go ahead and visit mupoentertainment.com. So we are back with our special guest, motivational speaker, as well as author, teacher, and book coach, Latasha Jimerson. So thank you so much, Latasha. So Latasha, who is it that you serve? Who in particular do you serve on your journey?
Oh yeah. See, this turned into an accident as well because I didn't plan this, but I ended up telling my story as a 40-year-old woman. And so what ended up happening is generally people over 40 started coming to me saying, "Hey, you wrote your memoir? Like, what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I wrote it. It was interesting. I needed to process a lot of emotional baggage from the past, and it was very liberating." And so they started saying, "Yeah, let me find out, how you do this. Let's get on a call." And so in the beginning, I started just attracting educators because my whole network is, teachers, administrators, counselors, coaches, fitness coaches and everything, athletic coaches. And so they would be like, "Well, how do you do that when, you're working full time, you got your kids and all this, da, da, da." And I'm like, "Well, 2 a.m. sounds about, the time that I get creative." So that's about the time that I work on these passionate projects, right? And
Right.
so literally the people that I serve are mostly educators, even still, right?
Mm.
I work with a lot of servant leaders who are ministers, pastors, and also content creators. So people who are already authors and they just want to expand their skills and learn more and, earn more with the books that they already have. So to really narrow it down, it's the majority, the people who really get the most bang out of working with me are
Yeah.
mostly women of color who have a story and they're servant leaders. They've been serving everybody. And now it's
Okay.
time for them to sit down and really get that book project done. Like I heard that a lot throughout the
Yeah.
pandemic, and we're still, not all the way through it, but women came to me, they're like, "You know what? I'm home now. And I'm grateful to be able to work from home,
Yeah.
because I have this job. So I'm excited. But you know what? I really want to do something else. I really want to
Mm.
start thinking about how I'm gonna retire." And I'm like, that makes my heart go pitter pat because I'm a history teacher by trade. So
Yeah.
hear someone say, "I want to write something to leave a legacy to my family and to the world." I'm like, "Ooh, I'm excited. Talk about legacy." And I'm like,
That's
"Let's
right.
go." So yeah, just in a nutshell, mostly women over 40, women of color who have had a long, beautiful career, and now they're ready to sit back with some tea and tell some tea, sis.
Yes.
Oh yes, a lot of tea in these books.
That's right. Oh, I love it. Cheers. Hey. So, how many books have you written?
So myself, I've written 6 books and I've done 2 collaborations. So one collaboration was with fellow teachers and another collaboration was with 25 public speakers. And
Wow.
so those experiences were super fun because, writing a book by yourself can be kind of lonely, right?
Yeah.
When you have a group of super ambitious writers who love to talk and think and discuss, and it is just explosive. And you know this
Yeah.
because you have
Yeah.
so many beautiful content creators that come to you and collaborate on projects. So
Yeah.
my last 2 books are collaborations. And after those collaborations, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna be writing anything else alone anymore.
Right.
It was fun, but not that fun.
Yeah. Now, when you've been in the anthology realm, have you, it could be difficult, especially if you are dealing with, working with a lot of women, you can get a lot of, different, issues that maybe can come up. Have you, in your experience, have you, had any types of issues that have come up, or has it been, really just, pretty smooth for you?
Well, ain't nothing with me smooth. It's always a hot mess. So the first collaboration that I did was a hot freaking mess because I didn't know what I was doing. Somebody was on a phone call with me because I do a lot of networking and I meet a lot of people. And the person came up with this idea, and I was like, "Oh, that's amazing!" I had just met the person.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "What are you doing during the month of so and so, so and so?" And that person was
Like,
like,
let's do this.
"Nothing." I was like, "Let's do a collaboration." I'm Aquarius, so I'm always in my head and I'm always thinking of some cool stuff to do. But when it comes down to do this, like, oh, I didn't think about that. We ended up working on a project that took a full year.
Wow, a year.
It should have taken 3 months, but it took a full year because we had people coming in, coming out. We had people starting and stopping. We had people over here, over there. And I didn't know how to manage that. I was like, what is this? Like, aren't you, wait a minute, personalities,
Yeah, yeah.
everything was a freaking hot mess. So halfway through the project, I was like, I'm done with this. I'm not, I told one of my, it ended up being three of us that were like the lead teachers. We're all teachers. It was like three lead teachers. And I told my other lead teachers, I said, I'm out. I'm out. I know this was my idea. And I know I was the rah-rah cheerleader in the beginning, but everybody's getting on my nerves. I'm out. And one of the lead teachers was like, LT, you done got me way too excited about this. You cannot back out. We have to do this project. And I was like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Right.
She was
Drawing the
like,
line in the sand.
yeah. I mean, she said music to my ears.
Yeah.
She said, I'm gonna take over this project. I said, let's go, sis. And she said, and I'm gonna do it my way. I said,
Okay.
ooh, wait.
Okay.
I said, what you talking about, Willis? But I was so grateful. I was so grateful. She took the lead. You know how they say
And
Jesus
sometimes
take
that's what
the
we
wheel?
need.
Yeah, Jesus
Sometimes
take
we
the
and
wheel. She
that's
took
what
the
that
wheel.
was.
She
That
took
was look, that was Jesus touching her to take the wheel. Okay. that yeah. So you,
she
you
took
you
the
have to have
whole
somebody to, yeah,
yes.
have your
She took
back on this stuff. So that's,
she
oh
took all the
man,
stress off of me. She took all the weight
that's
because
a blessing.
yeah, I'm the type of person, if I initiate something, I feel like I have to complete it. That's not the
Yeah.
case. She brought
No.
in more experts. She brought in more writers. She brought in more organization. She did that
Yeah.
damn thing. And in the end, I was like, wow, this is
And you didn't have to stress.
incredible. Yes. I was like, yes. I wrote my part. I left it alone. I gave it to her. She took it. It was beautiful. And not only that, but she also got everybody to come on board with the title, the picture on the front, the book cover. She
Yeah.
got the editing done and the formatting done, which these are all things that I had done for myself
Right.
6 times because I had 6 books. So I was the author, the editor, the formatter, the publisher, the promoter, the seller, the marketer, all of it 6 times for my own books. So by that
Wow.
time, I was really exhausted with the entire technicality of the book
Yeah.
publishing process. So she pulled that off of me so that I could operate in my zone of genius and
Yes.
just write my chapter.
Wow. See, that's amazing. I love that. I enjoy being the visionary, but I would like to step back at times as well. So I completely understand what you mean there. So now you have 6 books. So are all of your books about parts of your life? What are all of your books about?
Good question. So my very first book that I published in 2017 is a memoir that's about my personal life, the depression, the anxiety, being diagnosed with bipolar and being in denial about that.
Mm-hmm.
That book was specifically what I call now, what my clients taught me. That book was writing for healing. I didn't know it at the time. I still am actually wrapping my mind around it, because when my clients come into my container and they start writing, they get the same result that I did, which is complete transformation, confidence, standing up tall, doing your Superman pose, being on stage, talking to people, teaching. Like, it brought me out of my shell, not just out of the funk that I was in, completely out of my shell. So literally, people can get that on Amazon. Literally, I came out of the closet. The name of it is Secrets from My Closet.
Wow.
Unveiling the past in order to heal in the future.
Well, I like
I didn't
that.
create that title. That was a download.
Yeah, I like that.
So that was book number 1, the very first one in 2017. And then I had one of my daughters turned 18 in 2018. Her and I were having a hot damn mess relationship, with her being a senior in high school, deciding college, non-college, junior college, 4-year university, all those little things that I had on the checklist for her. She wasn't having none of it. So we did a little collaborative book, which was not planned.
Oh, wow.
I said, Jesus, I need to do something to heal this relationship, because one of us is going to strangle the other. And so I wrote this book. It's called Sorry Boo, Mommy Lied. Now that you're 18, you can handle the truth.
Wow.
That second book is about parenting, how to raise teenagers when you're already stressed at work.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was already teaching teenagers at work. My whole teaching career, 20 years teaching teenagers, the kids in the middle. So when mine became teenagers, I was like, ooh-wee. That's when my edges started falling out. So that book was about parenting. And then I had people in the community asking me, well, can you write a book about self-care? Because at that time I was now balancing raising kids, being a teacher, and now I'm an author.
Yeah.
So that's another hat. So people were like, how do you wear all these hats? You only got one head.
Right.
So I started writing about how do I take care of myself, because I started working out, right? You would have been so proud of me. Like, I was just on fire for working out. Like, I lost weight. I felt so good. And I was like, I'm an author now. I gotta look the part, I gotta be sexy. So then I wrote a book about how to take care of yourself. It's literally Mom's Book of Common Sense. Wow. How to take care of yourself when you are overwhelmed.
Nice. I like that. And there's so many people that need that right there. So many, women, I mean, men as well. Men fly by the seats of their pants as well. They get stressed out too. But, just women, especially, because we take on so much and just go and need that just release, and just to learn how to not be so stressed. So I just love what you are doing. So we're going to cut to another quick commercial break, and then we are going to come back and talk a little bit about how you became the girl powerhouse that you are today. So we'll be right back. And we are back. This is Girl Powerhouse with host Tiffany Para. And we have our special guest today, motivational speaker, also author, teacher, and book coach, Latasha Jimerson. So thank you so much for joining us today, Latasha. So, Latasha, you have, I mean, obviously gone through a lot of different things. You have juggled a lot of hats. You're a mom, author, teacher, book coach, motivational speaker, you've been a teacher, just everything. So, what do you feel was that defining moment when you became the girl powerhouse that you are today?
Oh my gosh. Like this just happened like this year. Like I just woke up this year and I was like, wow, February 7th was my birthday and I turned 47 and I was like, wow, what in the world? I look different. Like my hair is different, my face is different, my body is different. Everything about me, mind, body, and soul is completely transformed into a new creature, a new being. Like I can't even really express the whole process because it's like that butterfly caterpillar type of situation. But what
Yeah.
I will say is that what I've been through in my life is like driving from California to New York, right?
Mm.
Depending on where you're going, there are bridges sometimes, like the
Yeah.
freeways or bridges, right? So I consider myself to be still on my journey, but I'm crossing a lot of bridges. And each bridge is so exciting because I'm like, woo, you know how you go across a bridge and you look down, you're like, ah, that's how my life is right now. Like I go across one bridge and I think, well, that was exciting. What's next?
Yeah.
And then I go across another bridge and I'm like, ooh, that was scary. What's next? And I'm kind of like,
Right.
I don't really want to go to what's next because that was a little traumatizing. The first bridge was fun. That other bridge. So I feel like Girl Powerhouse Network is where I belong. Like I just plugged in with you guys, I think in November or December. And
Mhm.
I immediately felt at home like, wow, these women are doing things. These women have goals and dreams and they're not apologizing for going for it. Like, where y'all been all my life? This is what I've been looking for. My fam bam, like it's been enlightening. It's been really enlightening. And I mean, just this year, I literally was like, I'm 47. What do I want to be when I grow up? What do I want to do for the rest of my life from now
Yeah.
on? And that's where I just started getting quiet again, because when I became an author, I didn't plan it. I didn't want to do it, you know, but I knew I was being disobedient for like 12 years. I was being very disobedient because I had felt the nudge, but I didn't want to cross the bridge. So when I did that, it opened up a whole world of opportunities. And then I said, oh, this is awesome. And then other people started coming and saying, hey, can you help me write a book? And I was like, oh, yeah. Created my course, created my coaching program, started walking authors across the bridge. And that
Yes.
was super exciting. I mean, it's cool teaching kids, but it's way more fun teaching adults that are
That's right.
paying you well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, when I think of just powerhouse and being a boss, you know, I always had a vision in my head, but it looked a little bit different. Now that I'm in the skin of a boss, I'm like, man, this is really cool. Like I can do whatever I want to do. I can manifest whatever life I
Yes.
dream about. And I was just talking to my old principal from 2007 when I first started I started teaching in 2003, and I went to her school site in 2007. And she goes, "Do you realize when you came to me, you were pregnant with your last baby?" I go, "Oh, wow. Yeah, she's 14." She goes, "Yeah, that's when I first met you." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." It was so amazing. We just sat there and talked about, the good old crazy days of teaching middle school. That was the middle school part of my journey. We talked about how fun that was, how crazy it was. And she just really helped me to remember my journey, right?
Yeah,
Like we can document it in a book, but when other people share with you the way that you influenced them and how you impacted other families, and the contribution that you've made to humanity, it's
right.
incredible when you hear someone else echo back to you, what you already know. You feel it in your bones, but you
Yeah.
need somebody to reinforce what you feel in your bones, right? Like that validation.
Mhm.
Like I don't live for validation, but it sure is nice when I get it.
Okay. That's right. That's right. And I think it's really just confirmation, right? It's just confirmation that you are in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing. So it's that message, right? So man, we look, we went past the 30 minutes, but that is okay because
Just
this has been just an amazing conversation with you, Latasha, and I hope to have you back on the show as well. Thank you so very much for just showing up. Thank you for what you do in just helping to bring out that creativity in, some of those that just really are kind of like, I don't know what to do. They're stuck. So thank you for just being that educator and that, again, that author of authors, right? You can definitely have that one. You can
thank you.
take that. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, everyone, thank you all for tuning in to the Girl Powerhouse with your girl here, Tiffany Para, with our special guest, motivational speaker, as well as author, teacher, and book coach, Latasha Jimerson. We are on Mupo TV. Again, make sure that you download us on your iOS or your Android, and also check us out at www.mufoentertainment.com. We got a lot of great stuff going on right now, and you definitely want to be part of it. And if you want your own show, definitely tap in to the Mupo Network. So thank you so very much, and we will see you all next time. All right, take care and thank you.